this is Krista Lynn. Thank you for coming to my channel. I'm doing a series right now calling it The Shadow Side, and we're going to be talking about Gemini in this video. But if you haven't watched the introduction, you might want to go back. I'll post it below also, just to get an idea of some of my philosophies on astrology, and I try to kind of put it in a nutshell to give you an idea that there's a lot to it, and it's an amazing tool for us to use to be able to identify certain energies that we were born with. So if you are a Gemini and you're watching this video, I'm so glad you're here. And you're born May 19th to the 21st to June 19th to the 21st. It can change every year. So you're going to want to look at your actual natal chart. If you've never done that before, I put a link below called Cafe Astrology. You can put your time, your birth, and all of that in there, and it'll pop up a whole profile. They do a great job of helping you just get the basics of understanding that you're more actually than just a Gemini. But for the sake of today, I'm just going to talk about a few of the struggles, the shadow side, the shadow energies that a Gemini goes through. If you're going through some really tough times right now, there is help available everywhere. So you're not alone. And the first step is just taking a look at, are there certain cycles playing out in your life that are keeping you from growing? Are you stuck in a certain way of thinking? And for a Gemini, that can happen. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is the fastest moving planet that goes around the sun. It rules the hands. So Geminis and Virgos have very good hands. You can see we talk with their hands. I'm a Virgo, so I'm talking with my hands. Gemini is a little different, though. Gemini is the twins. And when you meet a Gemini, or if you are a Gemini, you can probably contest that there's many different dynamic sides to your personality. Some people may have even said you're two different people, and you can be. There's a lot of different conversations that go up inside, and that's the beautiful thing about the Geminis. They're able to know a little bit about everything because they have all of these conversations going on. But what happens a lot of times in your relationships is one day you're interesting, wonderful Gemini, a twin, and the next day you're moody, quiet, and angry. And so a lot of times people don't know who they're going to meet that day. And for you, it can even be more frustrating because you don't know who's going to show up either. And it's difficult, it's difficult. This energy, a lot of times has a very quick temper. There's not much of a period between I'm feeling upset to I'm completely angry. It's kind of like the Hulk. And it's hard because people see you as this light, easygoing person, interesting, fun, and then so quickly that can change. And so identifying that trigger point for you, how to learn how to identify those trigger points so that you can manage that energy. That's the great thing about astrology, is that we can realize that this is the energies we were given. I like to blame it on the planets, but, I don't know if that works real well. Just meaning that, well, okay, this is what I've been given. This is who I am. But I don't have to allow it to dominate and control me. I can use this energy by knowing about it in the most powerful way. So you guys are our writers, our journalists, our communicators, #1 communicators. If you're a Gemini and you're hiding out, and you're not communicating, and you're not expressing your gift, you're going to get depressed. You're going to get angry because, again, not using the energy to, it's really, there's a cycle, and it is about helping others. And as that happens, it comes back to us, and it keeps flowing. When that cycle gets stopped, it gets stuck inside, and it can turn destructive, and those voices can turn negative, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. You can suffer from a lot of anxiety. Okay, so can the Virgo. There's quite a few signs of the zodiac that deal with anxiety. Gemini is one of them. So learning how to manage your anxiety. One of the things that really works well, I think, for Geminis is being able to use that ability to read and study and keep that energy flowing with lots of different things. Because if you're not stimulating your brain, then again, those wires can get destructive. They can get crossed. They can get confused. And we don't want that to happen. I think the hardest part also dealing with Gemini and dealing with this Mercurian energy is it has the ability to become manipulative, to become sneaky, very sneaky, acting non-committal, but yet, flighty, not loyal. You get bored easy. Okay, so yeah, these are all the things you deal with. How can we turn that around to be something positive? If you get bored easy in relationships, then it's important for you to take a little more time into who you are committing to, that person can stay as stimulated as you, and you guys can communicate well together. If you get in a relationship with a partnership that the communication is dead, you are going to be miserable. So it's about understanding who you are and understanding what you need so that you can set yourself up for the most success. Geminis, because they like to know a little bit about everything, can get in trouble for gossiping, can get in trouble for stirring the pot, just to create a little drama, create a little excitement. They can get their identity and feeling like, I know everything. Sometimes you can get to that point where it's hard to talk to you because you're so focused on what you're going to say that you don't stop to listen to other people. And that can break down in your communications when people come up and they're like, oh no, they're going to start talking and they're just in their own world talking. And we're all just kind of listening, but there's not an interaction, not an exchange, okay? And because you are the most gifted communicator, you do know how to exchange information. So it's tapping into that energy and realizing that listening to other people is interesting. It'll feed that side of you for new information. And to be able to practice and watch yourself and how you're communicating. If you're just going on and on so that you're just, because you don't know how to stop. It's not even something that's, that a lot of times that you're even aware of. But at the same time, being able to step out of your body a little bit and see yourself interacting with others. So these are just some tips to look at. I see these traits in people, and, I, being an astrologer, it's exciting to me because I can watch that people working through these things. But I've also seen these traits when they've gone really negative and explosive, and the anger, and just that quick wit and that sarcasm cuts to the bone. You guys are so darn quick. And so my goal here today is to help you identify these things and help you develop new tools and new ideas to better yourself, to raise yourself so that you can be all that you can be, that you can use this Mercurian energy, and you don't need to manipulate, and you don't need to, be quicker than somebody else, that you can use it in such a positive way that you bring all the different tidbits of the world, all the different information, that you bring it together and tell us about it in a healthy way. So these are a couple of things. I'm sure there's more. And again, I'm just touching on a few things today, you guys. Let's look at a couple of famous Geminis. Who do we got? Well, Paula Abdul. Yeah, Paula Abdul. Tim Allen. Annette Bening. George Bush. Let's see. Joan Collins. Courtney Cox. Johnny Depp. Okay. Bob Dylan. Clint Eastwood. I didn't know Clint Eastwood was Gemini. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Okay. The greatest writers. All right, so there's just a few. Those are some fun ones. Henry Kissinger. Oh, Angelina Jolie. Yes, she is. Okay, so there's a few fun ways to do astrology. Is go look up some of these famous people, since you guys like to know a little bit about everything, and read about their lives. What has their life been like as a Gemini? Can you see any common threads in your life? Are there any common things that you can compare it to? You know, get out there, guys. Get out there and be healthy. Don't be insecure, and trust in yourself. You have a lot to offer the world. You know, you just have to set yourself up in the right position to be all that you can be. You're the butterfly, and you're not going to do well in somebody's little cage. So make sure that you put yourself in that position that you can always fly. All right? If you guys want to book a reading or you want me to help you navigate through this a little bit more, you can find me on cowgirlastrologer.com. All right. Thanks, guys.